This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.
What is happening, you guys? Welcome back to a Tuesday Tune-Up with J.M. Ryerson. We are here to help you be happy, healthy, wealthy, and get better every single day. And I was asked to do something on what's called solfeggio frequencies. And if some of you are like, what are you talking about? It's something in music that is basically vibrational frequencies. And there's some amazing studies, and I utilize this to find flow all the time, whether it's trying to get in with flow for my work or it's just trying to get realigned. Uh, 432 hertz is like the universal frequency. And for years, it was always that's what everybody knew. That's what music was based on. And then back in I think it was the 1939, 1940s, it got moved to 440 hertz. Now, why would they do that? Well, I'm not saying it's sinister, but is it possible? There's a guy named Dr. Joseph Goebbels who he's not a good guy. This was a gentleman in the Nazi party that doing propaganda moved everything to 440 hertz. Now, why would you do that? It enhances hostility, disrupts the sequence of thought, and disconnects the brain's left and right hemispheres. That's what 440 hertz, even though it's just 8 hertz away, and I don't even know how that works exactly from 432. It's literally disconnecting your brain's left and right hemisphere. Now, that is what music, television, broadcasting is based off. And so what we are feeding into our brain is this 440 hertz all the time. Well, that's not ideal. And so I started just reading and getting more into frequencies and energy. And this thing called solfeggio frequencies just kept coming up over and over and over. And so I finally said, you know what? I'm going to just try it. And I am a huge, those of you guys know, if you're usually in my car, it's hip hop, R&B, rap, something like that. That's just been the music I've listened to for the majority of my life since I was probably 10. That's kind of the music I've listened to. Over the last 2 or 3 years, I've really moved to these solfeggio frequencies to the chagrin of my kids, because it's think of spa music. It's extremely soothing. It's not exactly like, big bass and nobody's singing or rapping or doing fun stuff like that. But what I've found is these frequencies provide benefits for many things, whether it's calming me, whether it's really helping my creativity. So I was talking about it, and this was at a party, and somebody said, "What are you talking about?" And so I kept going on and on about solfeggio frequencies, and it's available on Spotify, and you just look it up, and you'll find solfeggio frequencies everywhere. And it ended up me being in the circle talking about something I thought everybody was aware of, probably just like me finding it a couple years ago. I guess I don't know. I assume everybody knew. So I'm going to do it just on the 9 different frequencies and what they do for you. And so I have my little cheat sheet here just so I don't forget. So the first one is, if we go from smallest to biggest, 174 hertz relieves pain and tension. So for instance, I had my shoulder replaced just over a week ago now, I guess working on a week and a half, and I have a lot of pain. And it's definitely, that's normal, of course. And it's not like it was I planned on having this surgery, but there's pain, there's inflammation. And so 174 hertz is what I tune into, and it definitely does help with the frequency. Now, some of you could say, okay, I don't believe in that. Well, we are all energetic beings. We do operate on frequency and energy. And if nothing else, even if it's just the effect, I can't think of it right now, but the effect where you think it's happening, I'll take it, because it absolutely does that. So 174 hertz relieves pain and tension. 285 hertz is linked to the root chakra, which arouses feelings of safety and security. Great. So let's say you're not feeling ideal. You're driving down the freeway and you want to feel safe. Throw on 285 hertz. Let's see how that feels for you. Give it a shot. 396. Now, 369, big numbers. According to Nikola Tesla, one of the smartest human beings to ever live, the entire universe operates off this. 396 hertz inspires liberation from fear and guilt. Imagine just for a second, whatever fear you're feeling that's keeping you from obtaining your dream, keeping you from going for something. Imagine you play this music and it assists you to not feel that anxiety, to not feel that fear. What an amazing tool to have at your beck and call. So 396 hertz. What I listen to that one quite frequently. 417 hertz inspires change, releases negativity, and past trauma. Well, we all have trauma from our past, whether it's something that we've faced or not, but we've had things in our past that aren't ideal. And 417 hertz is supposed to help with that. 432 hertz. That's, I said earlier, but this is the frequency of the universe. It arouses feelings of harmony. And I 100%, if I'm looking to get into a state of flow, especially writing, when I was writing Upgrade, I used this one a lot because it really allowed my body and mind to really get in sync. And all of a sudden, I would just start just cruising through my writing. My brain was just on fire. So I used that one probably the most. 528 hertz, miracles and transformation supporting DNA repair and physical healing, which cleanses disease and sickness. Well, we went through something, a little bit of a pandemic where people are freaking out. And apparently I got my neighbors are starting to talk about COVID coming back. Again, I respect everyone's feelings, but if you're really feeling that way, why don't you go throw on 528 hertz, cleanse yourself of that disease, cleanse yourself of that sickness. There's also something called rife frequency, which I won't get into now, but another tool that you can use, and they have all the different frequencies and vibrations that you can listen to, and I use that as well. 639 hertz supports relationships and reconnection. All right, so you're sitting here listening right now. If you have a vibrational frequency that you could literally play, so let's say you're going on date night or you're cooking dinner for your loved one and you want to have a romantic dinner, throw it on. It's literally saying it's going to support relationships and reconnection. Who of us couldn't reconnect more with our spouse or significant other? Throw that on, utilize it to your advantage. 741 hertz inspires solutions, problem solving, and self-expression. I haven't actually used this one, but I'm glad I'm looking this up because this morning I was thinking about a video I want to do with you and I got really stuck, writer's block or whatever you want to call it. And now I know I'll just look at 741 hertz and give that a shot. 852 hertz inspires harmony and return to spiritual order. I don't know about you guys. I have been on about a 3 to 5 year spiritual awakening. My relationship to God, my relationship to just spiritual is stronger than it's ever been. And maybe I can attribute this to some of these frequencies because, again, I was raised in a way that I didn't really resonate with some of these ideas. And I've really come back around recently. I'm not saying it's because of just these frequencies, but maybe it helped. And my relationship spiritually has never been stronger. And I'm at a level of peace that I've never obtained. And again, this is not long after losing my dad, which again gave me amazing perspective. But to have a closer relationship to God, to the spiritual world, it's never a bad thing. And lastly, the 963 hertz arouses a sense of oneness and unity. And I imagine we could all use that. I think of teams that I work with, and now I'm going to use that to my advantage when I do some of these meetings, because when you're working with a team, what are you trying to get? You're trying to get unity. You're trying to get a purpose for everyone to get behind. And so these frequencies are available to all of us. I actually use it with my son, Tristan, because he's open to it with his tennis. And you will see a remarkable jump in his athletic skill. He's calmer on the court when he listens to these frequencies versus listening to whatever rap he was listening to before. And again, I love that music. Don't get me wrong. I have no problem with you guys listening to it. But what if you could incorporate 30 minutes a day when you're driving, when you're going on that walk, just that peaceful calmness, and allowing that vibration to go through your body. So I'm not an expert on this by any mean. I know that, but it was such a profound moment at this party where everybody's like, why don't you do a podcast on this? I would love to hear more about this. And so this is my limited knowledge, which is, look, solfeggio frequencies are literally how the world works. Frequencies, energy, that's how it works. And if you ever want to see some cool examples, they've done it with where they put salt on a plate and then they play these frequencies, and the shapes that come out of it because of these solfeggio frequencies. It's literally, think of the most beautiful geometry in the world. Think of some of those churches when you see those amazing windows and what those look like. That's how they create that, is through these frequencies. So I said I would do it, and I wasn't sure how much information I could give you guys in terms of my knowledge, because it's not vast on this subject, but it is something that's made an impact on my life. I listen to it every morning when I'm doing my meditations or my mantras. This is the background music, the frequency that I'm playing, and it allows my brain to get into these specific categories that I'm looking for, the intentions that I set. So those are the 9 frequencies, and I hope you guys saw value from this. I'd love for you to try it out and let me know how it goes. Actually, I would love to hear. Why don't you send it to Let's Go Win 365 on any of the social media? It seems like Instagram has been a good one for us. A lot of interaction there. I'd love to hear it there. Tell us, how did these frequencies, did it do anything for you? Did it move the needle? And just give it a shot, because it's, again, you're listening to music anyway. Why not try something that literally is supporting that vibrational frequency in your body? And maybe you can just do it in the morning, or maybe just at night before you go to bed. Really put yourself in the most calm state. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I like I said, I was a bit hesitant to do it because I'm not an expert on this. But most people don't know about it, and I think it's absolutely fascinating. Share this with somebody. If you can think of somebody that's like, hey man, I've never heard of solfeggio frequencies. What are you talking about? Get this out there, because I am all about, and Let's Go Win is all about, inspiring people to live their best lives. That's why we exist. We want people to get better every single day. As I say, we want you to be happy, healthy, wealthy. This 100% helps you be happy. It helps you be healthy and wealthy, especially spiritually. It has been absolutely transformational for me. So please share this out there. Let's continue to grow the podcast. I appreciate you guys so much. You have an amazing week. We'll talk to you very soon. And remember, your mindset matters. Thank you so much for listening. If this content is delivering value to you, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review us. That helps us build this community, and that is what we are all about. Building this community as big as we can, helping as many people as we can, and deliver as much value as possible. Be sure to head over to letsgowinpodcast.com for information on my coaching courses, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Let's Go Win 365. Let's go win and transcend in life.
This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.